All right, it is time now for sports, and Billy Shen has joined me from 3 Sports. And I told you this morning that you're on your own on the show. I don't want to partake in this discussion whatsoever. You are on your own. So, Bill, what do you have for us this morning?
Cookie, the way you have switched from the smiley face with the, star 439 hash to now, it's wild.
Excuse you? You're talking to me? Are you talking to me?
But first of all, I'd like to apologize to every Ghanaian out there for predicting that Ghana will win yesterday.
You better.
Yeah.
You better. You sat here and lied through your teeth and told all of us that the scoreline was going to be 3-1 at the end of the day, and it turned out to be the most disgraceful tournament. No, it's not a tournament, match that we've seen in recent times. I mean, as if the goalless draw last Thursday wasn't enough. I mean, it's just, Bill, what? Charlie, play their reactions. Play their reactions. See, because I've got so many reactions to read out this morning. I'll start with that one from Stephen Peng, who says that, good morning, Cookie. Ghanaians should apologize to Dede Ayew Pele. He had always played with all his heart for Ghana, but we always thought otherwise. Let me read a lot more reactions this morning. I have to give it to people. Munaf Wakilu Adams says that a country managed by a cursed government running every sector of the economy poorly shouldn't have high expectations in sports. The performance of our Black Stars team is the mirror reflection of bad governance. Now, Jonathan Dokenu says, not only the national team, but most importantly, the FA needs a total overhaul. What is the team that gave us Otto Addo? Jesus Christ. Idrisu Idi says, good morning, Cookie. If this was any serious country, by now, the coach and the FA president should have resigned. Black Stars under Otto Addo is like Manchester United under Eric Ten Hag. No tactical play, no passion. They are all just playing mashallah ball. Yeah, I mean, come on. And I was listening to our head of 3 Sports yesterday, Michael Otieje, and shambolic. No guts, no glory, nothing, no sense of urgency, no hunger, nothing. Let's take the reactions on our poor performance. I'm disgusted this morning. You're on your own.
Yeah, first let's take that of our former, Black Stars coach, that is CK Akono.
I heard my voice.
Hey, so he spoke. Hey, Cookie. But let's take the reactions.
Bolivia, I am now check your yampa. I mean, 65th minute, second goal for Sudan. To say, to me, to say, oh, Jesus, hey, Mom sure. God, no, what yeah. Me to make us it's okay.
I think one of the videos we've used over and over again sort of sums up everything. It's been utterly shambolic. It's such a bad day. This reminds me of Ghana losing to Rwanda many years ago under Atumi, and I think it was Bukad Caesar, another returnee coach, and he never went well. And today, it's happened with Otto Addo. It was an insipid, poor display. No guts, no glory, no attitude, no commitment to the shirt, no energy. It's a really shocking day. And I think this will have repercussions up to the highest level. Everybody has to carry part of it. But it's a shameful day. I've seen a few sports journalists gloat, well, you're the ones who are not covering the Nations Cup, so we'll see how that goes. But it's just a really bad day at the office.
Such a bad day at the office. And you see teams like Comoros, Central African Republic, Angola, Sudan are these teams that are scoring us. And we sat here in this country and said that, what's the coach's name again? Kwesi Appiah. We sacked him because of non-performance. And this guy has gone to the Sudanese side and has shown us Pepe yesterday. I'm utterly disgusted.
And
CK Akono.
CK Akono.
On my team in Akono. He wants to talk.
Yes.
Let's take a listen.
Let's take a listen.
I think after these first 2 matches, that was impressive. we've always known that the team has not been a situation where they are playing like a team. It's more of individual brilliance. That if a lot of people have shown what they can do, but as a team collectively, we've not been able to see exactly what is expected of them, and it's simply difficult also because the time factor. They come here for a week or whatever, and then they go back. So it's a very difficult situation for any other coach, and so they've not shown the ability to work as a team, and that is what we lack. It's been there. But also we must understand that they are in a period of challenges. They are in the challenging moments for them, and they need to get it quickly, else it will not be done good.
The argument this morning, many people said it's the same situation with a lot of national teams across the world. Yeah. In this day and age, because of international football, you don't find all of them stationed in one place for a very long time. Yeah. So yes, they come in and go, they stay together for 3-4 days, maximum a week, they play and they go. But we see the performance of other national teams. Yeah. What is our problem? Please, you've got some slides to go through.
We have a lot of problems here. Let's first look at the group stages.
This one, I open the phone lines, so I would activate the phone lines, yes. I don't want it to be like, Cookie is the only one overreacting. I need to listen to Ghanaians this morning. So we'll activate the phone lines. Let's go through the slides.
You can see, in Group F, Angola have qualified. Yeah, with 12 points. Sudan are second. They only just need 1 point.
Look at the countries you're mentioning.
In the next 2 games to qualify. And that means Ghana would be out if Sudan, qualifies, because Angola have already qualified. So Ghana, just 2 points out of 4 games.
Surely.
Yeah, that's bad. And let's look at how far Ghana has fallen. Yes. You see, from 2008 to 2017, we were reaching at least the semi-finals. 2010, 2015, we got to the final and lost. And then 2019, under Kwesi Appiah, we were knocked out in round of 16. And 2021, group stage, 2023, group stage. Both tournaments, we never won a game. So, yeah, that's how bad the Black Stars are.
You know what? I don't even want us to qualify. But anyway, Colin Satapuku is on Zoom to join us this morning. I'm livid, but I want to be nice to speak to him. Yes, because he hasn't done anything wrong.
Yes.
Collins, if you can hear us, good morning to you.
Oh, good morning, Cookie. How are you?
I am not okay. I am not okay. But everybody has been, yes, everybody's been calling for a dissolution of the national team. Now, from yesterday's performance, everyone is saying, don't even bother going into AFCON, the AFCON. Just go and sit down. Let's all just go into recess for the next 5 years, get our act together, and come back again. Is this the red light that we've all been waiting for to dissolve the team?
It actually is. It is what sets it up to prepare for what we call the next reboot. And it's not like we are beyond this. Just 20 years ago, we missed out on this same tournament when we went to Tunisia in 2004. And the rebuild saw us come back and come back strongly. What we are lacking now is the sense of awareness, the self-awareness that Black Stars are just not good enough and something needs to be done and done urgently. That is the biggest problem we currently face with this national team. Anytime you see leadership speaking about the Black Stars, it's all about we are going to win the trophy, we are going to do well, give us more money, increase our budget, and then we will do well. No, we are not. You've seen from the graph, you've seen from the trajectory. These alarm bells were sounded long ago when Ghana played in Cameroon. A parliamentary select committee was set up to get an inquest into how Ghana failed in Cameroon. 2 years after that, we went to La Côte d'Ivoire, and it was same. We didn't do any better. So from round of 16, you come to the group stage. From the group stage, the next trajectory of the downward spiral is not to qualify at all. And it is not beyond us. It happens to the very best in the system. But the problem is that the people mandated to run our football from the ministry through the FA don't see it like that. Especially the GFA, who genuinely think they have a good team and that Ghana should be competing for top honors when they play in the Afcon. This is the reality. We have not beaten anybody of note in the long run.
Can you even imagine?
10 matches in the Afcon since 2019. We've won just 1. And that was against Guinea-Bissau. Yeah. We struggled to qualify. The last Afcon qualifiers, we qualified on the last day. So it's not surprising that this time around, we are on the brink of exiting entirely. We ought to, so that we can reset and re-strategize to get a better national team.
Okay.
I don't subscribe to the idea of disbanding or dissolving the national team, but I'm holding for a blanket resignation of anybody involved in the running of our football, especially at the GFA level. The management committee has been in charge since Cameroon. Nothing has changed. We've changed players, we've changed coaches, we've changed management members on a couple of occasions.
Yes, we have.
Still, we are bad. And these people don't seem to accept that we are not good enough. When we went to La Côte d'Ivoire and faltered, we came back, we sacked the coach, sacked his assistants, and maintained the rest of the back room for continuity's sake. We brought a new coach, new assistants, and nothing of note has been seen with us. I pity somebody like Fattah Dauda, who actually swapped Sudan for Ghana, because that was a revenge served chill to him yesterday in Libya. 4 games in this qualifiers, we've scored 2 goals. That's 1 goal. And we've played 2 of these games at home. We have 1 point. The other 2 games were not played at the home of our opponents. They were played on neutral grounds.
But
neutral
they still scored.
And they still beat us, which is amazing. Black Stars Cookie are not good enough. And I'm happy people like you are all involved in this. They have not been good for a long while, but we've been constantly deceived by leadership that they are going to win trophies, they are going to do this, increase their budget, give us more $1 million, let's put people there, and then we're going to do well. We are not going to do well. The worst case is that the players have started feeling the heat now, and some are actually considering their international future with the Black Stars. So we have a big rebuild job on our hands, and the earlier we accept the reality, the better. Listen to Sami Osei-Kuffour, listen to Stephen Appiah. These are past captains of the national team. Listen to Sika Akuno today on New Day. All of them are saying the same thing. The problem is known. Everybody knows it. But the leadership required to go after the problem is what we lack. There is disunity in this team. It wasn't surprising seeing Jordan Ayew and Atizigi nearly come to blows. Where is the leadership in the team on the player part? Where is the leadership on the technical team?
I saw that too. I saw that too.
There's a lot wrong.
Almost as if he was even insulting him, you know? Well, before Bill comes in, Bill is here with me, but before he comes in, I just want to ask you, do you really think it's necessary at this stage to even go into the AFCONs?
Well, because we've already started the campaign, we have to complete it. But the idea that Sudan will lose 6 points in the next 2 games and Ghana will gather 6 points and overtake them is laughable. The worst case scenario is this, Cookie. Sudan may actually go ahead and lose their next 2 games. But ask yourself, is this Black Stars capable of winning the next 2 games in Luanda and against Niger in Accra or wherever we play them? When we went to La Côte d'Ivoire, Egypt did their job against Cape Verde. We needed to do our job against Mozambique. We failed. When we went to Cameroon, in the last group games, Morocco did their job against Gabon. We needed to just secure a draw against the Comoros Island. We failed. So Black Stars in recent times have shown that even if you are helping them, they can't help themselves. So please, nobody is going to any AFCON. The nail in the coffin will be seen when we play in November against Niger and Angola.
Okay.
Angola have 12 points. Ghana has 2.
Can you imagine?
That is the state of play.
Bill, take over.
Yeah, so
it's so laughable, right?
Yeah, let's go on to the other side. That involves Kwesi Appiah, who was the head coach of the Black Stars, was let go around the end of 2019
for non-performance
after what happened in the AFCON at the time. And now he's with Sudan and he's, getting that result that is going to probably send them to the AFCON. Do you think that possibly he wasn't treated right when he was in Ghana as the head coach?
Context is very important in some of these discussions, Bill. From 2008 to 2017, we were constant semi-finalists, perennial ones, playing the final twice. So if you take the team and then the next tournament, you go in and you exit at the round of 16, it is a low. Even if it were quarterfinals or if he maintained the semi-finals, something could have been said for him. But he exited on the low. And since 2006 in Egypt, what happened in Egypt in 2019 was the worst the Black Stars had done until then. But little did we know that we were going to sink lower than that. On the basis of treatment, the government of Ghana treated Kwesi Appiah very well. His performances in Egypt didn't. But even that, we are stating on New Day today that the President of the Republic, Nana Akufo-Addo, summoned the leadership of the GFA, led by Kurt E.S. Okreku, to the Jubilee House and advised them that for continuity's sake, they should give Kwesi Appiah a year's contract. They refused. The presidency later offered them to give him 6 months. They refused. So it was Kurt Okreku's singular decision that got Kwesi Appiah out of the Black Stars. The government of the day, led by the president and his minister, Isaac Kwame Siama, did everything humanly possible to do this. It didn't work. And if you observe very well, elements closer to Kurt E.S. Okreku then had a smear campaign on Kwesi Appiah, spreading all sort of graphics with information on it that he was not qualified. He was a government coach. He is preferred by the government, and the football must evolve because he failed in Egypt then. Now, the FA has failed twice. They are still at post, constantly changing coaches. Now they are on their way to failing worse off than the ones we've seen in Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon. So I would say that it was the Ghana Football Association that did not treat Kwesi Appiah well. And again, he served us some vengeance.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, our head of 3 sports, Michael Otieje, is also joining us in the studio. Please don't leave. Collins, don't leave. General Manager, I beg your pardon. Did I just reduce your rank? Please forgive me. General Manager, 3 sports, is with us. Michael, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I saw your commentary yesterday, and it was an absolute summary of what we saw yesterday. But if you had to go over it this morning again, are you feeling any different?
No, I really do think that it's one of the darkest days in Ghana football. Maybe we are jumping the ship because the qualifiers are not done and everything. But you notice that people like Collins, myself, a lot of the journalists with a good understanding of the implication of this have been speaking about this a lot. The Nations Cup used to be the sort of thing that we walk in, you know. Then all of a sudden it's become the competition that we can buy a win in when we qualify for the tournament. We went to the last one, we didn't win. And then it's also become now the competition that we cannot qualify for. So it's pretty bad. I think the biggest fear, and maybe it was summarized best for us by Imola Ajimambedu when he spoke on Onia Sports after the match yesterday, when he said that the biggest danger is that we are sinking so low that it will take an almighty struggle to come back. And when I reflected about it a lot this morning, my thoughts were that if you're not careful, this could become what's happened to us at club level, where Asante Kotoko and House of Folk used to be the really big
and
deals.
they are totally out
and
now.
now, you know, we can't even get a team to qualify for the group stages of the Champions League. So it's a real danger, and I hope that something changes a bit quickly.
Many people are arguing that at this point, forget about the AFCON. Don't even go. What do you say?
No, I don't think that's what you do in sports. In sports, you can't switch on and switch off. So for purposes of the confidence of the players, it's important that in the next 2 games, they try to qualify. Okay. You've got to step forward. It's a bit like you're doing New Day. You can't come in and say that today doesn't have peak viewers, so you're going to let your leg off the gas, and then tomorrow, because it's a Monday and the issues, you need to be in a certain rhythm, and you need to be in the rhythm of winning. You even need to be in a bigger rhythm of winning if you're a team that's won 2 matches this year, if you're a team that has failed to beat Sudan over 2 games, failed to beat Niger, failed to beat Angola, if you're a team that has sunk to its lowest FIFA ranking in over 20 years at 70th, you need the win. The wins in these games are not just a matter of qualifying for the Nations Cup. From the way we are going, we probably will be starting qualifiers for tournaments in the first round. So our players will be playing more games, our seeding will be dropping, we will now be going into qualifying groups with the likes of Morocco, Algeria, and the rest. Everything about it is dependent on winning games. And if we're not able to, and you know the way people smooth this. I mean, I'm struck by how calm Otoado was when I met him in June. Okay. But I met him off the back of 2 wins against Mali and Central African Republic. Then I was struck by his attitude when he was at the press conference following the loss to Sudan. He was easily irritated by the questions. You know, I don't know how anybody gets angry when people ask them to give them assurance whether they will win, but he managed to get angry by that question. there is just so much at stake in it that it affects the confidence of the coach, the confidence of the players, the ranking of the team. Even where you are ranked affects the movement of your players when they are changing clubs and the rest. So it's not just something that you can easily forget about and then decide one moment to switch back. And this is also why it's dangerous. We have a habit as a nation of going long spells. Those of you who are younger are a bit lucky, so you can. You've seen the Black Stars go to every tournament, but this is the same team that we missed out when we were exited the Nations Cup in '84, and then we missed out on the Nations Cup in 1986. We didn't qualify for '88, we didn't qualify for 1990, we didn't qualify 86, 88, 1990, and until we had Bukar Caesar take us to '92 off the back of that team. We were lucky in 2004. We had a crop of players available and ready. And I think that's maybe the good thing about this time. In 2004, we had a 2001 squad ready. And then we went to the Nations Cup in Mali, and it didn't work out real well. But we had started a real building process, and then we turned it all around. So we brought Anthony, this goalkeeper, Rodan Sabak, when Grunsaf infamously said we had taking a 40-year-old goalkeeper to Rwanda to go and lose. Mainly, the plans that we had set in motion by bringing in Michael Essien, John Pencil, John Mensah, Derek Watson, and others to build the nucleus of the team. Because we didn't do well at the Nations Cup, we put it aside, brought a lot of the old guys back, and then didn't qualify for the Nations Cup. And then when we regrouped, we qualified for the World Cup, we qualified for the Nations Cup, and then we went on a run of qualifying for the semi-finals of every Nations Cup until 2017. So we have to play this right. We need to ask serious questions of the players. I was chatting to Stephen Appiah this morning. Everybody is despondent, but we need to play this right. We have a right to ask questions of the players. I don't think their commitment level is good enough. I don't think their application of energy on the field has been there. Nobody can convince me that failing to clear the ball first time is a systemic problem. It's not. It's a basic lack of concentration and decision-making on the pitch. And that is as much a function of the player as it's a function of the coach.
I would want to ask a question. It's going to both of you.
All right.
So this is just the AFCON, the qualifiers to the AFCON, and this is where we are right now.
Yeah.
Should we still keep Otoado for our World Cup qualifying attempt, if I can call it that way? Should we keep him?
I'm a bit indifferent to that, I have to be honest with you. I think that is a big indictment on any coach if you can beat Sudan in 2 matches, if you can beat Niger, if you can beat Angola. It doesn't matter whether you started the World Cup qualifiers great, won 2 games and all that. Another part of me says that maybe it will get well. I think, and I like something Colin said when he mentioned context, because context is so important. I think the best and worst thing that happened to Ghana football in the last few years was qualifying for the 2022 World Cup. It masked all our problems. It created this image of Otoado within the corridors of the Ghana football, especially in the eyes of the major decision, because I know a lot of the executive committee members didn't agree with his return. But it's created this image of him in the eyes of the Football Association. The 2 most important people, Mark Addo and Ketu Kreku, Mark is the vice, of a guy who can do no wrong. But we all forget that we qualified with 2 draws, a 0-0 draw and a 1-1 draw. Afterwards, this team has become too much struggle to win a game, too many difficulties. And I think the most important thing is, I think if you watch the way we conceded against Angola and Kumasi, final minute of the game, defender can clear the ball properly. It drops literally, and luckily I had a back post seat. He was trying to clear the ball and he can't clear. It was a defensive error against Niger. We conceded 2 goals to defensive errors. It's not just individual players' problem. It's a coaching problem. It's a systemic problem. It's a concentration problem. It's a game management problem. There's so much. Either they are playing too much of a high line, so they get caught out easily.
Michael, you've mentioned a million of problems.
I know, but it's
millions.
No, I'm just trying to suggest that. I'm suggesting that the games that we have played in recent weeks, in the last 2 months, that's not giving me a lot of confidence in the direction of Otoado. Plus, this is not like the Nigeria game where you're playing one off against your biggest rival with all the emotions pent up in it. We are going to have to repeat this against Mali, we are going to have to repeat this against the other teams in the group. And I don't know how that will work out, to be honest.
Collins, let's wrap up with you. And I'm throwing the same question to you. You heard my question, right? Should we still maintain Otto Addo for our World Cup qualifying series?
We have to.
Why that?
For
Why do you say that?
sake.
Okay.
The nail is certainly going to fall off in November. We are not going to qualify. That's how I feel. Then you would have to regroup in March to prepare for the World Cup qualifiers. If it doesn't turn out positively, we've only postponed our rebuild. If you bring a new person in and he does not provide the spark needed to compete strongly in the World Cup qualifiers, we would go back to asking, then why didn't Otto Addo continue? So let's give him March and June to see how we can come up with the World Cup qualifying. We are sitting pretty well in that group, and we have Madagascar and Comoros and Mali to contend with. Anything is possible. But the biggest problem here is what Michael just told you. He said many things at a time. The goals are way too familiar. Miscommunication between Daniel Amate and Richard Ofori, Mozambique scores. Miscommunication between Jiku and Salisu, we concede the equalizer to Egypt. Mumin in Kumasi against Angola, we saw it. That corner kick in that Niger game, it's so similar. The defensive mistakes are so similar. We've changed personnel, we've changed systems, still we are not improving. We'd have to give ourselves some time, but at best, we are only postponing the funeral by keeping him.
Collins Atapoku, thank you so much for joining us this morning on TV3 New Day. I'm sure we'll come back to you later on some other issues. Michael, what will be your last words before we say goodbye?
I think that we should brace up for some pretty difficult times with the Black Stars. I was joking with the boys, Bill and the other boys, that I was lucky to cover the Black Stars maybe at his best period.
Yeah, you did though, because in these times
you're
it's not really
for
good.
World Cups, you're reaching the semi-finals of every Nations Cup. It was just like a really good time. But this is also a good time because it's a good time for great journalism. It's a good time for incisive coverage of a team. It's a good time for good analysis of the space. And I hope that as a team we can rise up to it. But I hope that as a country, we would understand that there's a lot at stake. Collins is something important. You can decide whether to postpone it now or keep it later. I think November up to next March gives us a lot of time. The GFA will have a decision to make, and I hope they make the right one for the future of the team. Because in as much as I think that there are systemic problems at the FA that needs to be corrected, that is an elected position and you just can't get rid of him. The easiest one to solve, players, coaches, and the rest, and we will have a major decision to make in November.
Michael, thank you very much. He's the General Manager, 3 Sports, and together with Bilishen, they brought us all the latest in the world of sports. Bill, you owe me a lot.
Has he been a good boy?
He's been a good boy, but he's been lying. The other day, the Thursday match, you said it was going to be what?
But he
was lying about it because he knew what was going to happen. Yesterday, it was what, 3-1?
If he knew what was going to happen, he would be a rich man from betting.
Sure.
That's true.
But you better get your predictions correct for the next game. I don't like nonsense. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, away from sports, let's step into the world of Dewa 539. It is your chance to win big with Dewa 539 Direct and Dewa Chop Money. Now with Dewa Direct, dial star 446 hash, pick numbers 1 to 39 and win 20 times, 40 times or 400 times your stake and win cash every evening at 7 p.m. and on Sundays at 6 p.m. Early birds love Dewa Chop Money. So at 10 a.m., you dial star 446 hash, choose numbers 1 to 39, win 20 times, 40 times or 400 times your stake. You can play at dewa-nla.com or dial star 446 hash. If you need any help at all, you can call these numbers 0556 259 249 or 0532 479 879. Dewa Afa. Let's take a breather. When we come back, we get into the business of cashing out as well. Remember, 2 people are winning 2,000 Ghana cedis this morning. We'll be right back.